What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the weekly roundup. My name is Manny from Manny Reads Comics, and today I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Vinyl Casket Comics, and then there's Carlos from Omni City Comics. What's going
What's
on,
going
guys?
on, everybody?
How
How you
you guys
doing?
doing?
All right. So before we get started, usually I would go into a whole what do we do here, but I just wanted to give a quick announcement of our giveaway. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have you, the viewer, choose what we're gonna pick. So basically, if you can choose what our top pick is gonna be in the comments beforehand for the next week, you'll get a point and everything like that. So we'll add up the points at the end of the week. Whoever has the highest points at May, in the beginning of May, we'll send you some comics, some free comics to be determined. So we will give that news out. Now we'll be posting this on my Instagram at Manny Reads Comics with any details that you need, or if you want to message me. So yeah, look forward to that. I'm looking forward to see what you guys think. Hopefully, you get these right. And there's uh, a chance to win bonus points if you get all three right. You get an extra point. And again, it's all month, so you have 4 possible times to win. And if you just choose the worst book of the week for Nick, you're gonna get the right answer. So just keep that in mind,
Maybe.
You
right?
might you might even get a bonus comic,
You
right,
know
man?
what? Yeah, if
Like
you get
you
Nick's
might
right,
even get a bonus comic.
no. But yeah,
No,
again, if you have any questions on that giveaway, feel free to reach out to any of us on our Instagrams. You can see them here. But going
And there'll
on
be
to
some
what
cool
we
comics.
was
There
that?
will be there will be some cool comics.
They
So
will
try
be
and
great comics for
you're
sure.
yeah.
the
So
worst thing I could find. The worst thing I could find.
just like your picks, man. Just like
Of
your
course.
picks.
No, but going into what we do here, we do go through our top 3 books each week for this week, whatever we read, and then we go through our disappointments. What anything, it could be a panel, it could be a book, it could be maybe a writer did something like you could see. One of our disappointments for me, it's not a disappointment, but it could be like Ezra Miller started another fight, and I'm happy because that means a new Flash is on the way. Who knows, right? But then after that, we reveal our favorite comic, and we end it all with what we're excited for next week. So
My
real
favorite
quick,
cover.
yeah. Did I
You
not say
said
favorite
favorite
cover?
comic.
My bad. Favorite cover. I mean, kind
Good
of the
cover.
same. Whatever. It is what it is. No.
It is what it is.
But no. Going into our brackets, let me remind you. Last week I had Robin 12 as my favorite, and then we're just gonna go around right now to see what everybody else had.
I, as Manny, had Robin 12.
Because for
And,
once you had a good pick. For once.
For once, you had a good pick.
and I had Human Target number 6.
Which, sure,
It's
man.
just a really terrible
Whatever you
series.
say. Like whatever. I believe you. Right. No.
Dude, um,
But no. Well, with that, we'll start going into our top three. So to start
what do
this
you get
off.
for
I got Animal Castle number, what is it, 4? I
number
believe it's
4?
4. Yeah. Animal Castle number 4. Real quick synopsis on it is that the revolution is finally starting. It's quiet revolution. It's a peaceful revolution. Mrs. B starts a peaceful protest demanding something small. She wants the wood that they gather as the workers to be free, and that's it. And then that's the beginning of the revolution. I don't want to go into spoilers or anything, but for me, this is like a revolutions are tales as old as time. I love the reflections of the actions that what's going to happen. So like Miss B wants to be a peaceful revolution. I don't know the goat's name, but he wants it to be a quick and violent one. But they meet in the middle. Um, but at the end of the day, I feel like this is a slow burn. I don't think it's going to ever hit my top again. This is just hitting my top now because it's a beginning. It's things are happening, people are getting mad, things are like everything's happening right now, but it is a slow burn, and I would suggest if you're going to read this to do it as a trade, but because it is ongoing right now, right?
You know what, man? I actually don't know. At first I thought it was gonna only be 4 issues, but it's being solicited all the way up to issue number 6 from what I saw, which I'm excited about. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it's an ongoing. I'll be honest, I'm down for an ongoing, or at least like a good, I don't know, maybe 12, 15 issue run.
I mean, it's a revolution, so it has to be kind of that slow burn. Everything doesn't happen overnight, things like that. But it is, I will say, dialogue heavy. That's my only negative on this book. It's like I think it took me 40 minutes just to read through the whole thing and understand it, right? But yeah, Animal Castle number 4. That's my top pick.
You know what? I think that it's funny because sometimes one of the criticisms that we have is that books are too dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
But I personally like really like that, especially with the story like this. I've mentioned this before that it gives me uh Disney Disney story, but for grown-ups and very mature. So I like that unfolding of the events. I like all of the dialogue that the characters, the animals have between each other, and I love that Disney cartoon fantasy element to it. And like you mentioned, I feel like things are starting to finally uh, progress, and there's going to be that big climax. I I love the artwork, man. I continue loving the
No,
artwork.
Miss B is probably like the very, very likable main character. Like everything that she does, I'm just like, yeah, you go, Miss B. So
So
Nick need
I
to pick up the
didn't.
trade.
I'm not reading it. So the only thing I can really talk about is how you were saying how it's dialogue heavy and like Carlos said, that's usually like something we complain about. Like with modern comics, I feel like.
Weird,
But
because
I've been rereading like stuff from like the 90s and stuff, and I've noticed how dialogue heavy those books were. And I feel like the problem with that is that current books are not dialogue heavy. And it's made us so used to art driven books.
Yeah, but that's
Like
also the
always,
problem with like Savage Spider-Man. Not enough dialogue, right? Like on the other side of the coin, it's just not. It's more of just kill,
it's a
kill,
weird
kill.
it it's a weird, well, not weird, but it's a tough balance, I think, right? Depending on the book, the story, all of that. But just for this particular series, I'm really happy with that. That's that dialogue heavy because again, I feel like I'm watching, you know,
It's
a Disney
revolution.
movie. Like I'm watching an animated movie unfold, and I like it. But this book has been great so far, and if you guys aren't reading it, I highly recommend that you guys pick it up. Or like Manny mentioned, wait for the trade, but at some point though, read this story because
Yep.
it's it's one of the best stories out right now.
possibly.
Possibly. Nick, what do you got? What's your
Okay,
number 3?
so we're going into my number 3 for the week. Before that, I want to give a shout out to 2 runner-ups, just honorable mentions, because I really feel like they do deserve to get mentioned, even though they couldn't make it. And that would be issue 13 of Radiant Black, and
Okay.
unfortunately issue 93 of Amazing Spider-Man, which ended in something I enjoyed. It would suck that I can't talk about them too much because they didn't make it to the top 3. But
Oh,
check
you'll
out
get
my
your
review
chance.
on YouTube.
Trust me, you'll get your chance to talk about one of them
No.
later in the
All right.
show in a
My
different
number
segment.
3 is Shadow War Alpha.
Okay.
It's a good book.
Um,
Surprised me.
so I've been looking forward to this, and I was starting to question Williamson on how this event was going to happen. Just in the back of my head, like, is he going to be able to pull off three big DC titles and an
Okay.
event that ties them all in?
Okay.
Like, is he going to be able to handle this? Is he going to flop? Is he going to Nick Spencer it? Like, and like that's literally a phrase that we can use now because this man built up events and built up storylines just to flop it over and over and over again. And that was what I was afraid of. I thought this guy had so much momentum behind him that he was going to crash and burn with the start of this. And I thought the introduction of all the different elements going into this event was nicely laid out. If you're not reading Deathstroke, you will still understand what's going on. They lay it out pretty solidly, I would say. And then huge spoiler, there was a incredible moment that I don't know if I even believe is happening, where Ra's al Ghul gets shot after turning himself in for the crimes he's committed.
He's not dead.
But like the Lazarus pits are drying up, they're running out of resin. Like who? I don't know. I really did enjoy the artwork though. That was probably the biggest motivator here, is that the artwork really made it like pop, and that's why it was my number 3. Like, it was just a solid book.
No, I agree. The artwork, I kept thinking it was Capullo. I'm glad that I'm not alone there, because I kept looking at the name and I'm like, that's not Capullo. Then I go back and I'm like, that is. Like, yes, it is. So it was kind of weird to see, but I really, truly enjoyed the art.
How do you say that? Bogdanovic?
Sure. Yeah, you got it.
Dude, honestly, this book, or this first issue, this introduction, really surprised me and it hooked me, man. Like you mentioned, it was laid out really well. Like everything unfolded nicely. You definitely understand what's going on. I like everybody's motivations, to what they're doing. Although from the very, I gotta say, but like the second, third page, I knew that Ross wasn't gonna make it out of this. Especially when he said, "I need to hold a conference call." I mean, dude, there's no surprise there. Like you knew 100%. It doesn't mean though that moment, wasn't impactful, and it's definitely gonna drive, Damien's decisions. It's definitely gonna drive Talia. I want to see how it's gonna drive, Batman. And I do hope though that we get some kind of resolution to the whole, how many organizations do we have now? I mean, we had the League of Shadows, and then we had
the League of Lazarus and the League of
Lazarus. Like, yeah, and I'm hoping that we really do get, just one organization now that ends up coming out of this.
We also in here we have the Secret Society.
That's right. That's right.
Is being run by Deathstroke, King Deathstroke.
That's right.
I don't know if it was highlighted in this, but it was highlighted in the last issue of Deathstroke Inc. Is that I always forget what's the main villain organization?
The League.
The opposite
Doom
of
League,
the Justice League.
The League of Doom. League of Doom.
League of Doom. Legion of Doom. Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
That was mentioned in the last Deathstroke issue. So that they're pissed at Deathstroke and the Secret Society.
Okay.
So I'm excited. You know what? He took a lot of information from 3 different ongoings and was able to.
I have a couple of nitpicks, but like with this one, my main one was Batman knows how to talk to Damien by now. Like, it's been long enough.
No, he doesn't. Because what do you think happened last time? The whole reason we got the Damien solo book is that he got in a fight with his dad because he doesn't know how. They don't know how to communicate.
No, it's because Damien decided he knew what justice was and he wanted to lock people up and stuff. And then his dad said no, and he's like, "Well, I'm done with you." That's why he left. That's why we got the Robin book. It's not because it was bad communication on Batman's part. It's just Damien was stupid for a bit, and that was on the writer. I don't really have any feelings against Damien, but like by now, Batman should be able to talk to his son. He shouldn't have Oracle saying "hug your son" or anything like that. Like
at the very least, not that kind of just.
I would have saved him. Like
like way over the line. Being cold. Even for Bruce, even for Batman, like that was that one line a little bit too far, but
But even before that, on the rooftop, he's just like, Damien, how's it going? Yeah, we're good. how's it going? Yeah, I'm fine. Like, come on, you know how to talk to your own son. You do, and like
No,
Batman
they're
being
both broken people. They're
the
broken.
smartest detective, the smartest person, learning everything, picking it up quick. Don't tell me that he can't pick up parenting. There's books on it. Read.
He doesn't know how to do life.
No, yeah, no, that's a nitpick. It's just like it. I get
Yeah.
it. It's supposed to like fuel the story and all that, but
Mhm.
also it's like it doesn't make it make sense. Make it make sense.
All right, Carlos, what's your number 3?
Yo, for me, making another appearance is Captain Marvel, man. Captain Marvel number 37. And dude, it's just a really good book. In this issue, we pick up right after the events of the Marvels. Everybody's back home, and one of the people or beings that end up coming back is binary, and it's pretty much this story pretty much has to do with her acclimating and being introduced to Earth and being around people, and it's just a really fun issue seeing how she's number one learning how to speak English, how to be around people, and seeing her enjoy things for the first time. She's basically like a kid, right? She's basically a kid learning all of these things, and this issue just gets into the shenanigans of her and Carol and Monica, and we get some appearances from all of the friends basically. She-Hulk ends up being there, Hazmat, and it's just them kind of taking a break from all of the crazy stuff that's been happening. But why I really enjoyed this issue is because there was a lot of great character moments, a lot of great character interactions, and I'm really interested to see where this story with binary is gonna go. But it was just a fun issue. There were some battles that took place. It looks like Carol's gonna be out of commission for a while because a recurring villain that villain that her and Monica have faced off against. It looks like they might have gotten the upper hand on Carol, and it seems like Binary is gonna have to take her place for a bit, or at least be the one that's in charge of finding out what happened to Carol, where she's at. But it's just a good consistent issue, man, and it was fun. That's why it's mine number 3 pick.
It's your number 3 pick. It's my number 2. But I also loved it because of binary, and I am a binary hater. I will say that I wasn't happy to have her. Still not completely convinced, but she did make this book good. Her learning the human behaviors and the way she described like very simple descriptions of things when things happen. She's like, I'm happy. Hey, we're changing our appearance. She's like, why should I? And all these things. And it was just like you said, it was a good book. The mystery of the Catmen and like what they did to Carol, it seems. I don't know if it's gonna be like a background plot because the next one, if you look ahead, it looks like they're gonna go into space with Scott, Cyclops' dad. What's his team's name?
Starjammers.
Yeah, it looks like
yeah,
the
but his
Starjammers
name
are
is
showing up.
Corsair.
Corsair.
Corsair, yeah. It looks like they're showing up, so I'm like, okay, so this Catman thing, it could be like a background thing, but it was a good little setup for that. And I really do love that these in between books. This one's called Road Trip, and like in parentheses, there's a B in the front, so it's like Broad Trips, because Carol has like this good group of friends, like Spider Woman, Jessica Drew. There's one, I don't know her sister, I don't know her name, the one that's from the other planet.
She's Kree, right? Her
she's Kree. She's got 2 other people. Like she just has that group, and it's really cool to see. Like, hey, if you see this group, this is just like a filler episode, but it's a fun filler episode, and they're always down to hang out and stuff. So that was cool. I do see Binary becoming a villain. We don't have to get too into it if you don't want to, but it's there. You didn't read it, Nick. You didn't read it. You can't.
I'll let you know in 3 months.
Look, I will admit the foreshadowing, possible foreshadowing, and some of the possible foreshadowing, and some of the things that that she says are definitely like, oh, this being that hasn't grown up being human, sees things in very black and white, right? So like,
basically, I feel like she's gonna get the Ben treatment, and she's gonna be a villain. She's gonna be a hero. She's gonna be a villain. She's gonna be a hero, and they're not gonna know what to do with her, and she's just always gonna do that.
Do we think that we're gonna touch back on the whole magic thing that was happening before?
That would be cool.
Last of the Marvels, because it feels like they ditched it.
They did. They immediately were just like, whatever, we're done with it.
They did. But the crazy thing is that Ove is still out there, man. I mean, everything that she was doing, and her temporary costume change, the whole seeking out Doctor Strange, like, Ove is still out there. Amora is still out there, and she's from what I remember, Amora is still planning revenge on her for taking away Ove's magic, right? Like, that's still we haven't.
She was pissed. She was really pissed, and then she disappeared, and like, she didn't even show up in Strange Academy, because like her kids are the ones that are in Strange Academy right now.
Yeah,
so, like,
we haven't even. We haven't even like touched on that. So
that would be cool to see Binary kind of deal with that magic. I don't know, but but we'll see. Like I'm ready for the worst, but I'm hoping for the best. How about?
Did you ever think that a Captain Marvel book would be making it in your top 3, top 2, just overall top picks?
Never. I didn't even think that would ever be on my pool. When I put it on my pool, I was like, this is probably gonna last 5 issues, and then I'm out. But it's consistently good. I have not read one that I was like disappointed with.
So if anyone wants to flame me in the comments, I didn't technically drop the title. I'm gonna be just reading it when it comes out online.
Oh wow! Someone's actually able to read online now. What's going on here?
Marvel Unlimited is the best app ever.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm doing with Venom. I am reading Venom. I read issue 3. It's still bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, please don't say it's good. Please don't even try. Like,
it's definitely not as bad as the first issue, but it's still bad.
Mm-hmm. Man, quick little detour. Like, maybe we're all gonna get roasted in the comments here, but personally, I think it's getting progressively worse.
Venom.
That's just me. Yeah, Venom, man. Yeah.
But issue 1 of Carnage was really good. Same writer.
I haven't read it yet. I'll be honest.
No sense.
I haven't read it yet.
With that being said, my number 2 is gonna be issue 2 of Rogue Sun.
Okay.
So
Nick is on a roll. Good picks, man. Good picks.
So I really like this issue. I really like the first issue. I'm pretty sure it made my pick of the week when it came out.
Yeah. It did. Yep.
Issue 2 added an element that we didn't get at the end of issue 1. Something that they left out, which completely changes the whole story and gameplay of this series, is that because the dad died in the suit, his soul basically possesses the suit. So when he puts the suit on, he sees his dad talking to him, and the kid has not seen his dad in years because he abandoned their family to start a new family, basically.
Right.
So that's a whole power dynamic that we didn't know we were even going to get until this issue. So that propelled this issue all the way to the top for me, because that's insane. That's a whole power dynamic. Because now the kids, the half siblings, are even more upset that they can't see their dad.
Yeah,
which they love. True. And the guy who hates their dad is the one forced to deal with them. I love the progression of how we discover why the dad picked him to get it. It's really dark. It's kind of messed up.
That was brutal.
That was pretty rough.
That was brutal.
Like, it's making this series stand on its own. It's not just this is just a book that you read because you really like Radiant Black. It's in the same universe, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's Ryan Parrott doing some really dark stuff that he hasn't even really gotten to touch in Power Rangers or Mighty Morphin, because that's like kind of a friendly, happy. Like there's dark moments, but then this is pretty dark. Like the theme, like the characters, like their lives, everything's pretty depressing.
It's pretty heavy, man. Yeah, not gonna
And
lie.
also, the kid is like a nerdy bully. Like his best friend's a nerd, and he's like, "Okay, who's the second smartest kid in the English class? Oh, that guy. You're gonna do this for me, and then you're gonna say that you were watching porn, and your computer crashed. Like, what? I liked it. It was humorous, but it was dark, and I really liked this new story element that they didn't even mention at the end of issue 1.
Yeah, they did.
I don't think they did. I don't think they mentioned that he could see his
Absolutely,
dad.
they did. That was like the main part of the finale, like the whole twist.
Are you sure? Maybe I missed that.
God, how is this your top book for the time it came out? And you didn't even like read it. Come on, man.
You need to go back and read issue number 1 because there's a cliffhanger that you definitely got your like finger stuck on one too many pages, man, and you just flipped to
maybe you were having
but it added elements. We didn't get to discuss why, the reasoning behind it, how it worked.
Yeah, no, of course.
The whole power dynamic. I like that element. I like the explanation of it. I liked the development of it, and I liked what it meant for the character and the information we got because of it.
Yep.
And that's my number 2 pick of the week.
No, it was good. I definitely still feel the Damien vibes from the younger stepbrother. Like he's just still like.
I like the sister.
I don't know. She still seems sinister to me. I said it the first time.
100%, man. 100%.
I'm not saying I don't like her.
I don't know. I'm getting Oracle vibes from her.
No. I get the Oracle vibes / Damien vibes from that kid. He'll help out. He seems like he's really devoted to that guy.
She knows all the stuff about the suit and how it works.
Exactly.
And she's willing to help him.
Yeah.
Exactly. Red flags.
Perfect insight, man.
All around. Dude, red flags all around. She is going to be his downfall. 100%.
Maybe. Just like Binary. Maybe.
I guess maybe.
She might come out to be his best friend and blah, blah, but...
All right.
I also do like how Dylan, that's his name, right? The main character. Dylan, I hate that he's angsty, but I love that he's angsty. Like with this, like I hate it when his dad's telling him how to fight, because at that moment, who cares what's going on? You know
what vibes it gives me, Manny? It gives me Green Ranger Tommy vibes.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but then when he's by himself and like he's like the sister was like, "Hey, do you see my dad now?" He's like, "Yeah, he told me not to tell you." That angst, love it. The angst against like the fights, I'm like, stop. You need to listen right now. This is the point where you listen. Here, that's fine. That was great. That was hilarious. He told me not to tell you that he doesn't want to talk to you or something. I don't know. Like that was funny. But
that was funny. It's a really well structured book. He's a really good writer.
Not my biggest complaint, but a complaint that I had with the first issue was that I really didn't like anybody. You know what I mean? Like Dylan was he's an asshole, man, and there was
he's still kind of an asshole.
Yeah, and he still is. And I mentioned in issue number 1 that it wasn't even a likable asshole kind of persona, I guess. But in this issue, I definitely feel that I got confirmation that it's very much deliberate, and there's gonna be a reason for him basically for him transitioning to who he is now into being more of a hero, or maybe not
all the reason to grow. Like they gave him all that space to grow.
Exactly. And
I like the villain design.
Yeah, 100%. And I do think that him being this bully, that's forced not forced, but takes the mantle of being a superhero. I think that it is going to create some really interesting stories. So I'm definitely more open to it now, and it's no longer a negative like it was in issue number 1. But yeah, good issue, man, and good art.
Solid art.
The art is great, man. Like really, really cool art.
Abel, right?
my last thing on this basically is just that I think that they are doing a really good job starting this new universe, like the way DC has, Batman, Superman, Flash, Aquaman. They can all stand alone and they have their own comics and stuff. This right here, he's starting this new universe, but he's not constantly crossing them over and saying like they need to be constantly meshed for it to work.
Yep.
Rogue Sun here works by himself. He's
Yep.
good. Yeah, I don't need Radiant Black to come in and pick it back up. I don't need Radiant Red or Infernal Girl Red to come in and pick up this book.
Like you said,
It's
the
going to
other
work by itself.
Radiants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a whole bunch of Radiants that are probably going to get their own minis and
there's a hint this week about another one.
Yeah, exactly. So, but no, that's my final point is that I think that Kyle Higgins and everyone that he's kind of backing to help him, they're doing a good job.
Matt Grom, Ryan Parrott.
Yep.
And all the artists as well have been.
Yep.
Except Radiant Red, I don't like the art. I will say that Radiant Red, I don't like the art that draws Satomi. She's too short.
It was
weird.
It wasn't great. I'll admit. Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't great.
Yeah.
No,
It wasn't great.
It works for now. Yeah.
It is a miniseries, so
I do have to mention again though. I just feel so excited and I feel really good about Lucky Dead. I can't wait until until we get more of that.
Unfortunately, there was another delay in Infernal Girl Red.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The artist had hand surgery.
Yeah. So perfectly understandable. When it comes, it comes. I'm sure that he's gonna give him.
I just can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
All right, Carlos, what's your number 2?
Dude, speaking of the Radiant Black universe, Radiant Black number 13.
Oh, perfect. Okay, we get to talk about this. Thank God.
It made it into the list for me, and it's number 2, not so much because there was like crazy stuff that ended up happening, which I feel that we get a lot of that in Radiant Black, or we've been getting a lot of really big revelations, really big expansion of this universe, and we didn't really get that this issue. But I like that it went back to the earlier issues of just character driven story, character interactions of their everyday lives, and where there happens to be superheroes involved, right? And it was really good going back to it was really nice revisiting Nathan, right, and seeing what's going on with him, and I like the little hint that we are definitely not he's not done yet with.
There's still a connection
with whether it's Radiant Black or just Radiance.
Existence.
See what I freaking predicted.
With Existence, and he's like, nope, I don't want nothing to do with this.
Don't talk to me.
I just want my pizza.
Yep, that was hilarious. But it's really cool that we got that little, confirmation that hey, there's more to come. But more so, what I really enjoyed in this issue is that we got to see more of. We basically got to see more of like the fallout, right, of what being a superhero is, especially when you're not prepared for it. We first got that with Nathan, but now we're seeing it with Marshall, and we're getting more background into his life, and the struggles that he's going through, the everyday struggles that he's going through, especially during that 2-week period that he was gone.
Was it 6 weeks?
Thought it was 6. Yeah.
Oh, 6. Yeah. Sorry. 6 weeks. Yeah. So like a long time. Like what effect that's having in his life. We get to see his mom for the first time. And that whole interaction gives us some good background into the kind of relationship that he had with his mom, what kind of family life he had growing up, and it's good to see. I think that it gives him more layers, right? Because the majority of the time we see Marshall as this like goofball, this like guy that's
Happy
always
go lucky.
happy-go-lucky, making jokes. Even if things aren't going his way, he's always cracking a joke. But we're getting again in this issue, we get more layers to him, and I really like when we go from goofy Marshall to more serious Marshall, and someone that again has a lot of character and background to them. The very last thing that I'll say about this is the artwork and the fight scenes. We don't get a lot of them, but when we get fight scenes in Radiant Black,
So good.
Absolute top tier, some of the best around. Dude,
at the end of this, Marshall was so intimidating. So intimidating. Like, what is happening with him? Like,
he's so intimidating, and that's what I love about Marshall. Manny, you were actually the first one that really like pointed it out. But even from the very beginning, like again, Marshall may be a goofball. He may be kind of like a quote unquote fuck up, but he was the one that would tell Nathan, hey, you should strategize like this. Why don't you do this? You probably have these powers. Why don't you explore this? Yeah, why don't you practice? Why don't you do that? And we've seen him on the field, like come up with strategy and like battle plans. And I feel like this issue we really got to see him like like show that hey, he is feeling comfortable in the suit, and he's only getting more and more I don't know, I guess I'll say proficient, proficient more
because he didn't look like he was like in a rage and somehow this new power happened. It looked like he made that happen. He knew what he was doing. Everything 100%. Like it was great. I loved it.
Huge shout out to the colorist though in this series. Phenomenal.
Yes. Phenomenal.
It makes those fight scenes stand out.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And the villain, not the main villain, but like the main villain of this issue. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it was Jao.
Zhao.
I said Joe in my head. I was like Joe. It is what it is. But he was also like not intimidated at all. Like he was just like, yeah, be pissed, do whatever you want. But
he was a little off his rocker.
Yeah, a little bit. Absolutely. Yeah, that was. And when he went and like touched one of the shops, talking about the colorist and everything, that was beautiful to see. Like that, like the whole like effect of what he did.
Yep.
This book from issue 1 to now, the crossovers, Rogue One, the whole universe is beautifully crafted. It's like they really are putting the attention and the funding and everything to this to create really good teams, and everyone, like the creative control just feels good.
Yep.
Like it's just a once in a lifetime kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited 10 years from now to see what this is.
Dude, show on Amazon, man. Like I want a show on Amazon.
Show on Amazon.
Didn't they announce that it's going to happen?
Maybe.
Not that I've read, but
I thought they might have been in talks about it.
No. Well, I'm gonna go into my number one. And y'all are gonna call me total Nick. Like this is my number one. It's lame, but it is. It was my number one. We already talked about it. Shadow War Alpha, number one.
Oh,
that was my top pick. Out of everything that we talked about.
Everything.
Yes.
Wait, you played that off really well.
Yeah. I didn't want to show it.
You made it seem like I still made a crappy pick.
No, that was a good. And like I understand why it would be your third pick or anything like that. I can't believe it's even in my top 5, honestly.
Yeah,
but,
honestly, I was kind of overwhelmed by it, but it was well drawn and had a really good story.
It was
solid. Art, we talked about it. We talked about the art, the dialogue between both of them. For me, it was the shocking ending that really got me. Like it wasn't shocking like you're saying. Like Ross was definitely gonna die, but what
how it did and how it was drawn.
Yeah. Like you saw his skeleton. You saw like he's dead.
Also, their use of full splash page was awesome. Love
And-
splash pages.
but it was the Batman saying, "I would have saved him if I was there. I would have saved him." That's what really got me. I was like, "You're an asshole. Like, how could you say that?" And so now when Alfred comes back, I hope he slaps him, because I'm still thinking Alfred's coming back soon because of this last issue with Robin. But all those points, and then Robin showing up with no mask, that was weird. Carlos, you called that out too. Like, that the no mask thing was just like, what are you doing? What's going on? I just had so many questions. The Deathstroke impersonator, who is trying to start this war? Why are they trying to start this war? Deathstroke getting
I'm
pissed
telling you,
off.
it's the Legion of Doom.
Yeah, you might be right, but like Deathstroke being pissed off whenever someone questioned him in front of Respawn, and him saying, "How dare you say this in front of my son?" It's like, you just met him. You don't know this guy. Why are you getting offended? So like, I have
he
a lot
has
of
son
questions.
issues. He's very, very attached to the
Yeah,
idea of having sons, and
Yep.
this opportunity to have another son and another chance, a do-over.
that's a very good point. And I didn't know about Deathstroke Inc. I don't read that, so I didn't know about the whole Legion of Doom. That's a very good theory, but I also feel like that's a misdirect. I feel like it's an obvious theory, and so now it's gonna be something else. But yeah, hey, we got a couple of first appearances, I think. So that was cool. But yeah, we already talked about. We don't have to continue going into it. Nick, what's your number
Okay.
one?
Oh, I'm so happy you get to go before Carlos.
I swear, if it's Amazing Spider-Man 93, man, I swear to God,
I
Nick.
already mentioned that as
No,
a
Nick. I swear to
Honorable.
God.
honorable mention. It was an honorable mention. No, Carlos, this is issue 21 of Something is Killing the Children.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm assuming this is going to be your pick of the week.
100%.
Okay, I knew it. Okay.
Wow, look at that.
Yo.
Carlos,
Holy
tell us why it's
first
your
off,
pick of the week.
Nick, go
so
for it,
this
man.
is a series that Manny's not reading because he's lame as hell. Carlos convinced me. No, a little bit of everyone convinced me, but I was like, Carlos, is it really worth it? And he assured me that it's definitely worth reading. So when the hardcover came out, I read the hardcover, issues 1 through 16. I picked up the paperback for volume 4, which has the last 4 issues that lead into issue 20. And then it's been a while. It's been a while. We did have House of Slaughter and Enter House of Slaughter throughout the summer and leading up to this to fill that kind of void that we were lacking. With some development in that universe.
But there's nothing like Something is Killing the Children.
Dude, from the coloring, the art style, the just the weird watercolor way it's like almost painted there.
Dude.
And I love whoever is in charge of layouts and the layout design is awesome. I love how they use the full page.
Yes.
As almost always. There are exceptions in pages that just read like regular pages, but I like how they use this broad, like, because it's different. Most books don't do that. Maybe one panel, one page, one double page.
Yeah,
they do it a lot, and it conveys this different. It's different. It's entertaining. I couldn't put this down. I read through this like that, and I was so upset when I finished it because I'm like, damn, I had to wait again. Like I waited so long, and it wasn't a small book. It was a pretty thick issue, and I know you're gonna want to talk about this, so I'll stop soon.
No, dude, please, like I love seeing honestly that you're excited about it, and that this issue captured what had made the rest of the series so damn good, man. So please, like,
so this is the first issue of the series I've been able to read as it's released.
Yeah.
So, and not only that, but this die cut
so
blood
good.
variant, the bloody variant.
Bloody variant. Yep, so good.
Amazing. It made this experience great. I love how we're getting another story, another child that has to witness this stuff, just like the first series. And it's a new story. I'm excited to see some background on how the main character got from point A to point B. I'm hoping we get that because I would hate if we don't. But I really like this. And also in this issue, they tease the next storyline for House of Slaughter, which is Scarlet.
Yep.
So super excited. Amazing book. 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Easily. Like
Wow.
this
Okay.
is gonna be a hard one to beat. This is
It's,
gonna be a hard book to beat.
we have to update our brackets. This is the end of the month, so
Oh, it's
we're gonna have to.
Like,
have to think
it's
about
not
this.
fair. It's not fair that this book is so good.
That's how I feel
Mention-
about Batman 120 hit variant cover. You know, like it's just not fair that that's so early in the year because it's just going to be the best cover of the year.
It's not fair because it has this attachment to it for me
Okay.
of it being the first issue I get to enjoy like
and
regularly.
there was a good issue, and there was a good issue.
It was a good issue, a
Yeah.
great start. And I like how this kid is so different than the last kid we dealt
Yep.
with. Where the last kid was very timid and shy. This kid is angry and aggressive.
Yep. But still terrified deep
Terrified.
down. Just doesn't even know how to deal with
And
what
this monster is a completely different like world than the last one.
You, this monster creeped me the fuck out way more than the last ones because
It wasn't like a
human, almost like humanoid kind of. It wasn't
like this. Oh, this is an impossible thing to imagine.
Exactly.
It was a very creepy. Like if I was to like squint my eyes and turn at night, that's what I might see.
100%, man. 100%. What made me so damn happy is that there was so much to live up to, you know, for Tinian to, you know, come back and for this to still have that magic that all the other issues have given us, and he succeeded. It's a testament to how good this world is, to how great of a writer he is, and just how special something is killing the children, you know, is to him. And I'm saying that because the entire issue, we actually don't see Erica Slaughter. We don't see her at all until, spoiler guys, you know, spoiler. We don't see her until the very last page. Like,
so good though. It's so satisfying.
The entire setup is like Nick mentioned, this, you know, terrible tragedy where again, a monster kills the entire family of a kid. And we see her going through
sisters, you know, mother, grandmother,
like it's just and it is horrific to see the aftermath of, you know, this monster attack. And we just follow through her, you know, trying to process what's going on. Was he the sheriff again? Like, are we dealing with another sheriff?
I don't know if he was the sheriff or he was just a cop. I think he was just a cop that knows the family.
Yeah, that just knows the family. You know, of him trying to, you know, find out, hey, what happened? Because again, in this town, you know, something has been killing children, family.
He said it.
Exactly. I said it. You know, and we just see her trying to like process what's going on. But like I mentioned, when we see Erica in the very last page, the payoff was absolutely so good. And it honestly, it was better than seeing her being like introduced in the very first page and seeing her, you know, throughout the issue. Seeing her just on that one page and that one panel got me hyped, man. And I will say, if for anyone watching, if you still haven't read Something's Killing the Children, if you haven't, you know, given it a shot, I will say this: the hype is real. At least to the point where it's going to be a story that you are going to enjoy.
And
you know,
Tinian did a really good job of using that other series, House of Slaughter, as a way it's a prequel series basically. It lays groundwork for things that we witnessed in the earlier series, and it gives it more depth and explanation and a new story. But the way he timed the releases, or at least how Boom timed the releases, when this hit, it did. While it did feel like, oh, it's been a long time, like oh, everyone wants this. He was able to make it so like it wasn't like, oh, we haven't seen this in so long. Is it gonna live up? Is it gonna live up?
Yep.
He was able to not, when you add water to something, dilute. He like diluted the hype by giving a really good but not exceeding it with this story, a good taste of that universe consistently.
Yep.
Since it stopped, he was consistently feeding the audience material in that universe to keep them interested, but not to overbuild the anticipation. So when it hit, he couldn't hit the goal.
And touching on that, I think that it's actually, whether this was on purpose or it was inadvertently, but us following Erica as a child, or a younger Erica for the past
4 issues.
What, like, huh?
4 issues.
Yeah, well, 4 issues, but then also in Something Is Killing the Children, before it took the hiatus, we've been dealing with a younger Erica for such a long time that, again, like you mentioned, we have been getting exposure to her, but then seeing her in this last panel as a grown-up, the way that we were introduced to her, you're like, yes, hell yeah, she's back. Yeah. But anyways,
so, before I go into this next segment, what I'm hearing is I should read this book, right?
Yes.
I should read it. I'm telling you now, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to look it up online. If you want me to read this book, this is for both of you and for all the viewers, the loyal viewers. I only read first editions, first prints. So send me the book, number 1, number 2, number 3. Send me the books from 1 to whatever it's at right now, and I'll read them.
Right?
Absolutely. I will 100% read them if you send me these first print books. I don't want to hear no second, third, fourth print or anything like that. They can be variants. I'll allow it. Okay. But yeah, if you guys send me that, I'll definitely read them 100%. It sounds really good, and I'm excited. I can't wait to get them. But speaking on that, we're gonna do disappointments. Disappointments. I have none, other than the fact that I'm probably not gonna get Something Is Killing the Children. That's probably a disappointment. But
you have no disappointments.
I
really I don't know if the week just went by so quickly that I didn't have a chance to be disappointed. Like I said, the Ezra Miller stuff, I'm not disappointed at all. I knew it was coming, and I'm very excited for a new Flash. But other than that, I have.
You're telling me you're not disappointed about Spider-Man?
I knew that was coming. Sure, it's a disappointment, but it's like it's the end of the run, so that's a positive.
What about that new character reveal?
I didn't see a new character coming. I didn't see that coming. And when it happened, it was like, okay, cool. Not really, but whatever. It's done. We're not going to see this character for hopefully at least 2 or 3 story arcs. Carlos, you think differently, but again, it's just, Spider-Man has just been consistently disappointing, that it's not a disappointment of the week. Right. So
damn. When you frame it like that, I'm Nick, but I'm skipping you real quick, man. Like executive privilege or executive decision here. But damn, dude, when you frame it like that, now I feel like my disappointment of the week, which is Spider-Man, isn't really disappointing because it's just more of the same.
Yeah. You know what? You could just say that you're disappointed that you are dropping. You're hearing it here first. You're dropping the Spider-Man title.
So look, that is my disappointment. All right. Yeah. It's the fact that I really am not even going to pick up the first issue of the next volume. And
are you going to read it online?
Yeah. Marvel Unlimited.
You're going to wait 3 months?
Yeah. But like, look, I have been picking up Spider-Man. for anyone that's watching, I'm gonna take just a quick, couple minutes to like really lay out why this is like big for me. Spider-Man was the first comic that I ever bought, and it was when Dan Slott launched the big time storyline and the big time, status quo, right? It's the first book that I have picked up, and I have not missed an issue since. This is back in
That's like 2013, right?
No, dude, this is back in like 2010.
Really?
Yeah, 2010, 2011 is when big time, pretty much launched. It was very close to the New 52 era.
Okay.
Yeah, back then. So, anyways, we're talking 10 years. We'll say 10 years of me consistently picking up Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero. There are just so many things that I wish for as a fan. You're not always gonna get them. As fans, we don't dictate the stories that writers want to tell.
We should.
Well, that's not
give me more Ben Reilly.
No. Yeah, this is why we don't.
More Kane.
But yeah, as fans, it really isn't up to us what stories writers and artists wanna tell, right? But I just feel that for the last couple years, man, I'll say like 2 years since Nick Spencer's run, right? I haven't gotten at least a glimpse or a taste of what I wanted from Spider-Man stories, man. And we're talking 100+ issues now, and just every time I feel that I'm left wanting more, and I've been left feeling disappointed. I have to say the best thing that's come out of Spider-Man is the fact that at least Peter and Mary Jane are back together. That's awesome,
And they're moving in.
They're moving in together. So
we don't know that.
So
I think
who knows?
that stupid cover is to mess with us.
Maybe this next volume that's coming, it's gonna be absolutely pun intended here, amazing. And I'm hoping that it is, so that I can be brought back into the fold. But the reason why I'm dropping it is because I don't know if I can do another 30 issues, another 40 issues, 50 issues, and just be left not really being happy, and I don't want to turn into one of those fans that just consistently is like buying a book and does nothing but talk negative about it, or just feel.
I have one question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to buy any of the variants.
No. So like yeah, I mentioned this. You're gonna
get the Gleason webhead variant. We all know it.
I mentioned this in our chat. I'm not gonna consistently pick up the book, other than hey, if there's like a really great cover, or if there's a singular really good issue.
I'm not getting issue 1, but 100% you're gonna get that cover of Goblin Queen, of Queen Goblin in the webhead.
Nah, that's not a good cover.
You already have the whole collection, though. Don't you have all the variants that he's done in that style?
Not every single one. I think that I'm only missing like a couple.
The one that came out this week.
I didn't get that one. But anyways, that's my disappointment for the week. That's why I'm like dropping Spider-Man. I'm hoping.
Let me just quickly, before I jump into mine, I just want to defend Spider-Man just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just this issue.
You shouldn't have to.
This issue Spider-Man has been the best of the worst.
No. And that's because Peter Parker was there, though. If I'll agree, tiny bit, but it's because Peter Parker. I think
this was kind of like a redemption issue for the last arc. It made
I don't know, man.
Slingers. You got to see both Spider-Man. You get a new character out of it. You get to see Janine as a badass.
No, sure. I don't know.
Look. As a Ben Reilly fan, or even not as a Ben Reilly fan, again, I hate talking negative about or putting down the stories that writers and artists and the whole creative team put together. But I personally think it's really hard to defend this storyline and what it did to Ben. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I mean, come on, man. How many years are you gonna shit on this character or just bring him back to tell this story? Like, what?
It makes no sense.
What's the payoff here? There's no
I agree
payoff.
with you.
There's no payoff here. Let's move on to happier stuff. Let's move on to happier.
Well, I still have to talk about my disappointment.
That's right.
You cut me off.
That's right.
My disappointment is, if you've been following our show at all, you should be able to guess this.
Oh, here we go.
War for Earth 3, issue 2.
Nick. Okay.
Why is that you should know?
Why is this a disappointment? I'll tell you why.
This is why I'm dropping Spider-Man. This is why basically everybody, this is why I'm dropping Spider-Man, because I don't want to turn into Nick with Earth 3. Like,
you bought this book.
All right, so
why are you buying the book?
So
why are you buying the book?
No.
All right, so the reason I bought the book is because it was a crossover event in 3 titles I was already reading.
No. Why do you continue buying the book? You know it's going to disappoint you. You know it's going to break your heart.
Wait, I've liked the individual series that is connecting. I've been reading Suicide Squad and loving it. I've been reading Teen Titans Academy, and I've been reading Flash. And I like all 3 of those series, no problem. So when I saw there was an event that was going to have basically an Alpha and an Omega and 3 issues that happen in between them that I'm already picking up, I was like, I kind of have to at this point because I'm going to be lost if I don't.
Okay.
So first issue of Earth 3, and it came out the same week as Suicide Squad. It was really good. It was really good. Flash didn't make any sense. Whatever. Teen Titans. Okay, I'm kind of annoyed, but it's cool what they're doing. How are they going to finish this off in 1 issue? Like how are they going to do this? Basically, they skip this huge chunk of explanation and never touch on how they get from point A to point B. They just jump straight into this fight without establishing a plan, without establishing how our characters got from getting on a ship with these characters. They never even established how Harley Quinn even got there. That was completely left out. She wasn't there at all, and then all of a sudden she's just there at the end of Teen Titans. I don't know how. Characters are flip-flopping sides in the middle of this battle without any explanation. 1 minute they're on Waller's side, then they're helping out the guys there, then they turn around and smack them in the back of the head. You don't know who's on what side. The Earth 3 people are divided on both sides. You have no idea what's going on. It's this giant mess of a battle that just ends up with everyone teaming up against Ultraman because he just decides, hey, Waller, you can't control me. I'm not a puppet.
Dude.
It was just a lot of nonsense that made no sense.
It's done.
What do you mean? It's not an ongoing book.
Oh, it's not. Oh, okay, my bad.
It was just a 2-issue.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Event. It was a 5-issue event.
Gotcha. Okay, my bad.
And I was already getting 3 of the 5 issues, whether I got these 2 or not.
Okay.
So I got this to finish it out because I thought, you know what? At least they'll wrap it up. I don't even know what the conclusion was. I don't even understand.
All right, well let's raise your spirits up.
Ultraman into a thing to power some planet, and then match the clone of Superboy is now Ultraman.
Yeah, we're gonna raise your spirits up, and we're gonna talk about some good covers, hopefully, and just very happy good covers. My best cover this week, I will say, I would have been Captain Marvel number 37, the Momoko variant, but I didn't buy it. I didn't find it, so I can't make my top list. But for me, it is the Gleason variant of Amazing Spider-Man 93. The story may be shit, but that cover was pretty beautiful. So
I can't believe Carlos didn't get it.
I know. Honestly, that kind of blows my mind too. He didn't get that one. Maybe he'll get it later.
I honestly, I just didn't even put it in my pool box because I was just waiting for the end of this, man. Like I'm just burnt out. Like
I'm really upset that I couldn't get the exclusive, which was the Kirkman cover, which was beautiful.
Which is the comic gods looking out for you.
You're telling me it's not beautiful? If you saw it in
not.
the shop, would you have grabbed it?
The second that I realized it was Kirkman, and then I saw it. Since when? What's your top? What's your top favorite?
My top cover of the week is the Jorge Corona. Is it George Corona?
I would say Jorge, but
Jorge
I guess
Corona.
you could call him George.
Variant cover for Buffy the Vampire Slayer 25th anniversary issue. Oversized cool. Issue. It's got like 5 stories in it. Wraps up the series that just ended and starts the new ongoing that's about to start, just called The Vampire Slayer. No Buffy.
Oh, nice. About time, honestly.
She's in it, but I'm pretty sure from this story that that Willow and her are switching places.
Oh, that's big, right?
Yeah, that's huge. And this cover has all the characters that the current ongoing modernized comic book have made popular. Mm-hmm. All drawn in Corona's art style, which I love. I know Manny has a problem with his art style.
I like his art style on certain things. On this, it was fine. I don't like it in hero stuff. Even though I guess Buffy is a hero, but I don't like it in
she saves the world like countless times.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I think it looks pretty good. I like
really, it was tough because if this wasn't my pick of the week, I would have said this.
Yeah.
Just because when I got to the shop, there were so many variants for this. I didn't know what to pick. So I told my shop, hey, just throw in a variant, whatever it is, like maybe multiple. I don't know. Just throw in a variant. Hold me a variant because I go there very early. So I try to get a pick of stuff before other people get to pull things apart. He hands me both die cuts. The bloody variant and the non-bloody variant. Nice. And I'm like, holy. He's like, which one do you want? And I'm like,
both.
No. I don't. My wallet couldn't pull that.
Find a better wallet.
A disappointment that I forgot to mention is that my shop didn't get White Knight Beyond.
Good.
They didn't get it, really?
Yeah, no, there was some shipping issue. It came like a couple days late, so I'm not picking it up until next week.
Okay. Funny thing, White Knight actually made it into my top 5, top 6, I'd say. It was actually really good first issue, man. Like, dope issue. But anyways, my cover is also a Something is Killing the Children cover. And dude, for me, has to be the 1 in 100 from Delato. Like,
there's so many variants for this.
Dude, there really is. And I do have one more coming from Ji Hyun Lee. That covers. Oh my god, man! His exclusive cover. I hate buying store exclusive covers, but sometimes they're just so damn good. Yeah. But anyways, though, for me, it had to be this Delato one because I mean I've been a big fan of Delato for a long time, but I feel like it's been a while since one of his covers and some of his artwork has like stopped me dead in my tracks and just absolutely wowed me, you know. But this cover like does that, man. I mean, his depiction of Erica being all like beat up, man, and just like holding her arm, that like intensity that you see in her eyes because that she's about to get back up and she's about to go and like slaughter all of these monsters. Just the overall framing of the shot, the dark colors. It's just a masterful cover, man. And like this is to me Delato, like at his best, man. And it's
I'm gonna say something, Carlos, that you're probably gonna agree with. I think Something is Killing the Children and Erica Slaughter is a modern like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's that good.
You know what, man? I can definitely see why you would make that connection.
I definitely think a Something to Killing the Children live action show would be incredible.
But it's coming, dude. So
live action?
Yeah, it's coming.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was animated.
No, it's in the works. Live action, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But real quick, I do want to throw up one more cover because this one almost made it to number one, and I'd say it's like borderline there because this is also by one of my absolute favorite artists, and it's the 1 in 25 variant by Dan Mora.
This man bought 15 variants for the same book.
That's why he's giving up Amazing Spider-Man. More money.
You know?
No, Dan Mora can never do any wrong.
Dude, like if Dan Mora were to do like a guest appearance or like a fill-in issue, if Werther ever needs to take a break, what he's done in Once in Future, I think that he would just knock out such an amazing issue of Something's Killing the Children. I would love to see his interpretation, of it. But yeah, anyways, those are my top covers.
My backup is this.
No. All right. So for any listeners that want to participate in the giveaway, this is the spot that you do want to listen to. We're going to be talking about what we're excited about next week. So it's a good insight of what we might like for our top number one. For me here, I only have 9 books, which is not that bad. But the one I'm looking forward to most is Batman Beyond, Neo. What is it called? Yeah, Neo Year. Because it's just the newest one. I've always been a Batman Beyond fan, and it's going to be a new number one. But I mean, there's plenty to pick from here. I don't even know what my number one's going to be for next week because it's a good selection on my end. Nick,
yeah, I'm in a similar boat. I don't have that many. I'm trying not to add ones that I kind of want, but I'm trying to shorten my list.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very excited for Batman Beyond. I'm excited for this semi-conclusion of Devil's Reign because we are getting an Omega. And Marauders issue 1 is something I'm very excited about. But we also have some like regular hits like Moon Knight and She-Hulk. I don't know. It's really up in the air for you guys to pick. There's some books that I talk about almost every time they come out that are on this list.
Just pick the worst one. You got it. You got it for Nick.
I already dropped the worst one, so.
All right, Carlos.
Yeah, man. Like you guys mentioned, Nick mentioned, there's a lot of good stuff coming out, man. For me though, I have to say that it's got to be Moon Knight, because Moon Knight has just been so damn consistent. So I'm just Moon Knight, man. I'm just really excited for Moon Knight. And the other book that I'm very excited for is Tales Told in Technicolor, season 2, number 1. So that's coming back. Great horror, type of comic book, indie book by Kiarn Tegan and Christian Dabari. I love their work, and I think that this is it's definitely one of the most unique horror books that I've had the pleasure of reading. So I'm excited for that to come back. And I'm also excited for She-Hulk, like you mentioned, Nick.
Yes.
I've been enjoying this comic run, man, way more than I thought. I honestly picked up the first issue just to say, hey, let me give it a try. I mean, it's She-Hulk. I've never picked up a She-Hulk book, and now it's a staple in my pull list. So yeah,
so good.
excited for Devil's Reign, obviously. But yeah, these are the books.
I do want to mention something that if you told all 3 of us, at least me and Manny, like a year and a half ago, that that we weren't going to be reading X-Men anymore, I don't think either of us would have believed it.
Man. I'm happy. I knew that I was going to drop it, but you guys y'all are the X-Men fans.
I'm about to drop the main title. But issue 1 of X-Men Red comes out next week, and I'm not even interested.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was it. That's what we're looking forward to. We're going to update our brackets here. Stay tuned for next week to see if you're right. Make sure you put those comments, those guesses in the comments. Let us know. Manny is gonna pick this. Nick's gonna pick the worst one. Carlos
Nick's
is gonna
got
pick
the best
whatever.
taste.
Let us know in
I
the
only
comments.
come to watch these videos for Nick.
Any questions you may have, you can send a DM over on Instagram to me. But yeah, this has been Nick, Vinyl Casket Comics, Carlos, Omni City Comics, Manny Reads Comics. This is the weekly roundup. Thank you so much for joining. Do not forget to share this with your friends. We'll see you next week.
Subscribe, like, and comment.
No, don't even do all that. Forget all that. Just watch the videos and that's it. No. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week.
Take care.